Two more early contenders lists are left before we drop our initial top 25 rankings on July 16th. We are zoning in on the top offensive and defensive players in the country, and up next we focus on the defense. This list features 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 3 DBs, and only 2 dudes from the class of 2020 cracks this top 10, and the other 8 are all going to be seniors in 2018. The first player on the list falls down in Southern California for the defending national champs, and it's their 5-star corner Elias Ricks. The big-time DB from modern day is the Richard Sherman of high school football. He has the size, speed, and footwork to be one of the top players overall from the class of 2020. Ricks was a first-team selection on the MaxPreps sophomore squad last season, and expect the Monarchs to have one of the best secondaries in the biz with Ricks, 2020 Oklahoma commit Darion Greenwarren, 2019 Oregon commit Jeremiah Cradell, and William Nemo. The next dude balls out in Oklahoma, and it is Booker T. Washington's 5-star Daxton Hill. When you see his tape, you quickly notice he does it all. He has great ball skills, is one of the best tackling DBs, and can cover as well as anyone in the country. Hill checks in as a top 10 recruit overall and is the #1 rated safety in the class of 2019. Next up is the first of 4 defensive linemen, and he's a 5-star phenom from Ohio, Zach Harrison. The 6'5.5" freak athlete is an absolute nightmare whether he's lining up on the edge or at wide receiver. The 5-star DN checks in as the #4 recruit overall on 24/7 Sports Player Composite Rankings. Amit's 5-star defensive tackle Ishmael Sopser checks in at '7 on our top 10, and he's rated as the #1 DT from the class of 2019. Sopser has great footwork, especially for a dude his size. The 6'3.5", 330-pounder has some of the quickest feet in the country, and even when you double team him, he's a tough dude to block. He's a straight beast inside the trenches. The next guy is the only one who appears on both the defensive and offensive top 10 lists, and it's modern day's 5-star freak athlete Brew McCoy. He's legit the only player in the country who would be rated as a 5-star linebacker or 5-star wide receiver in high school football. He's without a doubt one of the most special players in the country, and expect him to be a major player at linebacker for Coach Rawlinson and the defending national champs in 2018. The third and final defensive back on the list is 2019 USC commit Chris Steele. The 4-star corner from St. John Bosco is the best all-around cornerback in the country. He can cover as well as anyone. He's physical, his footwork's off the charts, and he has that swagger you need to ball out at that position. But his best quality is his leadership ability, and that will be on full display in 2018 for one of the top teams in the country. The second of 3 linebackers is Grayson's 5-star beast Owen Papo. The 2019 Auburn commit is one of the best all-around defensive players in the country. He is probably the best cover linebacker in the game. He doesn't miss tackles, and he has great speed and instincts. Papo is one of the major reasons why Grayson will begin the season in the top 5, and expect him to be an impact player right away for the Tigers in the SEC. Picking the #1 spot was tough because really any of these top 5 dudes had a legit shot at it. Checking in at #3 is IMG Academy's 5-star defensive end Nolan Smith. He's a straight freak coming off the edge, and no D-end has more moves than the 2019 Georgia commit. Smith is one of the most versatile defensive players in the country. You can line him up at the line of scrimmage or at linebacker, and he's one of the hardest cats to block in the game. The second of 2 players from the class of 2020 checks in at #2, and it is Upland's 5-star linebacker Justin Flo. And hey, you know you a bad dude if your nickname is Baby Man, but that's exactly what he is. Flo is easily one of the best defensive players in the country regardless of class. There's a good chance Flo ends up being the #1 overall player from the class of 2020 when it is all said and done. Taking home the #1 spot is the top-rated player on 24/7 Sports Player Composite Rankings, Oaks Christian's Katy Thibodeau. The technician is coming off a monster junior season. He finished the year with 20 sacks and 28 tackles for loss, and helped lead Oaks Christian to a CIF Southern Section Division II championship. And hey, if you're one of these schools, you got to be pretty happy because you made his top 5: Florida State, Florida, Oregon, USC, and Alabama. Expect KT to be an impact player right away at the next level, and you can also expect him to have a monster senior season.